It's Easter 2016 and we're at a very cold Santa Pod, England for the first round of the Topspeed Automotive Street Eliminator series, featuring some of the world's quickest and fastest street legal cars. Well, looking back, 2015 series winner and 200 mph club member Mark Todd with the stunning GTO is apparently sitting the season out. Watch this space to see if he manages to stay away. But 2014 champion Stuart Williams is back, ready to roll with the Karma Supra and hoping his mechanical problems from the end of last season are now behind him. The stunning record-breaking Bentley, raced last year by Steve Neomentas, is now in the hands of Team Extreme's Martin Smith, with brother Matt now taking over driving duties in the 7-second GTR. And the silver Mustang of Andy Bond won't be racing this season. The reason? He's putting together a new twin-turbo setup based around a 56 Chevy, and he's building this to ultimately run sixes. Watch out for that later in the season. Well, the track prep's done, the drivers are getting strapped into their cars ready for qualifying session 1, and we caught up with Team Extreme's Martin Smith, who has a lot to look forward to this season.
Oh yeah, we really are looking forward to what the season will bring. We bought the car off Steve Neomentas back in October and want to put our own touches on it, so we've gone with the team's traditional Panther Black. In addition to that, the engine was already sent to Kenny Coleman and done a fantastic job on refreshing the motor, made a few changes in that as well. So yeah, in addition to that, the gearing weren't 100% right on the car previously. It's done a fantastic mile per hour. The car's gone like 208 mile an hour last season, isn't it? So hopefully we can build on that as well. But with the new Rosler transmission and giving us a 3-speed option with a wider gear range, will hopefully enable us to start nibbling away at those 60-foot times and improve on the E2s.
And that Bentley sure looks mean in black. Okay, time for the first pair to hit the track here at the Festival of Power. That's Stu Williams with his straight 6 turboed Supra in the left lane, taking on Davey Murdoch's 33 Willis in the right lane. Davey travels all the way from the north of Scotland to compete in this series. He ran the Willis deep into the 7s last year, always a strong competitor. Stuart's also a mid-7 second runner. Davey off and away, Stuart taking his time from the line, charging hard now. Good opening runs for the first runs of the year, knocking on the 7s already. Another Supra, this time driven by Gary Gooding, also part of the Team Extreme stable. Gary ran down into the 7s last season. Steady through the 60 foot. This car usually flies in the first part of the track. This time it's an easy 8.9 and a number safely on the board.
The car has got an awful lot of potential for sure, you know, now with the gearing that we've got in it versus the GTR. They're very similar to drive, yeah. Different driving procedure in actually getting the car down the track, but yeah, pretty much feel the same. Obviously Bentley's got a bit more grunt. Yeah, we look forward to using that.
But just to make the point for people, you're not just going to go out there, put your foot down and do 200 mile an hour first time, are you, at all? Nothing like that?
No, unfortunately not. I wish we could. There's a lot of development now's got to go into the car. We've got to view it as a completely fresh project. Working alongside John Webster, who's helping us to develop this new project for us. We kind of had to take all the settings out of the car again. So the car has got to be viewed as a brand new car. It's been re-baselined. We've got an initial setting in the car. We're going to have to get laps round on the car to just get some data to see what she's doing.
So almost 3,000 horsepower on tap when fully loaded. This car is spectacular. Oh, seems to be getting very close to the centre line. Oh, and takes out the timing blocks. They're only made of foam, but compress them at speed, and they do cause damage. Nice recovery there by Martin. Time for our second multi-car team now. It's Redneck Racing in both lanes with a huge and very heavy Chevy pickup of Nigel Hale facing off against the Mercedes of Nick Hale. And this pickup is original, no lightweight tube frame and no aero package here, just 9.5 litres of pure horsepower. Both looking very nice and neat, and mid-10s all round. And just remember, a typical stock Ferrari or Lambo would be several seconds behind the truck here. Awesome. Well, this truck, built by Chris Isaacs, owned and driven by Al Williamson, showed huge potential last year. Right lane is Matt Smith taking over from Martin in the Webster Race Engineering built GTR. Very strong opening runs here. Al close to the best he's ever done in the truck. Good MPH for Matt as well. Into Q2, and not everyone's managed to improve on their times, but Al Williamson in the Howling Hauler certainly did. That is a huge personal best for him here, and so close to his first 7-second ticket.
Excellent, yeah, it was totally unexpected because I've done very little over the winter, but all I've done is change the fuel lines. So it was totally unexpected. I believe now it'll do a 7. We've just seen some issues on the tune, driver issues and a couple of tuning issues. And I'm sure some little tweaks and it'll continue to get close to a 7. Tree reactions, I'm pretty good. I finished second to John Webster last year. I'm not too bad tree reaction, but it's just down to me getting better and better driving the truck.
Day 2 qualifying, and this time Martin Smith in the Bentley faces his brother Matt in the left lane in the GTR. And we're now on board with Matt Smith. And Matt is away like a scalded cat, but can the Bentley go straight this time? He jumped through stage, so no times for him this time. The car still pulling to the left, but look at that time for the GTR.
John Webster's made some adjustments to the forelink and the suspension, and we've gone out for the second qualifier, and at exactly the same point again at the 8 she started to turn to the left, and we know the chassis and the setup of the car is right. John said just check the tyres, so we took the wheels off, and yeah, one of the tyres is a good half an inch taller than the other one.
So at the end of qualifying it was Matt Smith with that great 7.76 at number 1.
Yeah, so far so good. Wasn't quite expecting the 7.7 yesterday, but made a few changes, similar to what it was running at the Summer Nats in the last season, and that hooked and went, and just felt really good.
It's obviously a well set up car from all the work that the team's done on it last year. How does it feel actually stepping into this compared to the old car?
Massively different. As you say, it's had 3 years of Martin developing it and setting it up, and hopefully I might reap the reward from that now, do you know what I mean? But the car's it's massively different in so many ways. It's just like I tried to focus a lot last year on a good reaction time in the Escort. I tried that at the Summer Nats last year and red lit straight away. That's how much more efficient it is by letting go of the button at exactly the same time as the Escort. So just a totally different tool for the job.
So you've really got to think and work at the track craft as well on it now, haven't you?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm a little bit, nervous. It's just, I want to get comfortable with the car, feel confident with the car. Not necessarily, we all want to go quicker. That's not my aim at the minute. I want to feel confident and comfortable where I am, and then starting to build my racecraft and just own it, if you know what I mean, as opposed to just, I'm not too sure kind of thing.
So after qualifying, the cars all go out on a 25-mile cruise, fill up with pump petrol and do 2 hot starts to prove they are true street cars. We'll head out with them later in the season. It really is quite something to see. And so on to race day and round 1 of eliminations. The weather's taken a turn for the worse, but it's dry at the moment. Davey Murdoch in the left lane, Nick Hale in the right lane. Nick's car nitrous assisted, Davey as a twin turbo. And a great start for the Mercedes, but the power of the Willis overhauls him at half track. Davey takes the win with a time of 8.17 at 174 miles per hour, but just look at that sky. 2 trucks now, Al Williamson right lane and Nigel Hale in the left lane. Al should have this covered, but anything can happen in drag racing. Al away cleanly. He's having a great weekend. He pulls ahead here to take a comfortable win. Over the line, 8.69 to an 11.9. Nigel some way off his usual form there. 2 from Team Extreme now. Matt Smith near lane in the GTR and Gary Gooding in the Supra in the left lane. Gary looks to have this one covered at half track, but the GTR is catching Matt, our number 1 qualifier, and he takes it at the stripe, 7.71 against a losing 7.97. Solo for the Bentley now with Stuart Williams not making a call because of damage done in qualifying. But the tyres squeal and break away, so although Martin gets the win, no useful times will be recorded. Well, unfortunately, shortly after this, the promised rain closed in, and then no more races took place. So at the end of round 1, the points looked like this. Matt and Davey topped the table, and a challenging start to the season for Stu Williams. Moving forward 2 weeks and we're at the Fast Show, and the whole of Team Extreme have pitched up at the event to try to put in some more testing runs during the open Run What You Brung sessions. The Fast Show is one of the biggest events of the year for the modified car scene, but being Run What You Brung, it does mean the track will be different from the Nationals race meeting. Most of the Run What You Brung cars are, of course, everyday drivers.
We got seriously affected over Easter with the bad weather. I think we actually only got 3 runs in the car over a 4-day period, including the test day, and we didn't get down all the way down the track. What we found was over Easter that the car was launching well, the car was getting to the 8th well, but as soon as the car hit about 150, 160 mile an hour, she started to turn quite hard left, and tried to correct it. Yeah, it wasn't having any of it, so I had to abort each run. Long story short, we had John Webster made some chassis changes to it, but ultimately the problem was one of the rear tyres were actually over half an inch taller than the other, which obviously came into effect over 150 mile an hour. Once we identified the problems, the heavens opened, so we were very limited on what we could do that weekend, hence why we're back here now for Fast Show to try to get some additional testing in.
So, running noticeably straighter now. That looks like one problem sorted. Time for some more sibling rivalry now. Martin in the right lane with the Bentley and Matt in the left lane with the GTR. Neither driver really expecting to be running anywhere near full potential this time, just testing and trying, experimenting with suspension and boost settings. Even so, it was a brilliant side-by-side race that certainly got the fans on their feet.
We only run it at about £7 a boost and a bit of a pedal fest up, and she went 8.2, but it was great because we went from A to B, and yeah, got some really good data from it. And
you've got to remember, it's a huge team effort to bring not just 1 but 3 of these machines to the track each event.
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of hard work and effort goes into not just at the track but behind the scenes back home and getting the cars ready, setting everything up. Having crew to work on each car and helping us get round by round. It's a good team effort.
Be sure to join us here at Santa Pod in May for the FIA main event, where Street Eliminator will be back on track for 4 days of action, along with a full complement of Europe's best top fuel, pro mod, fuel bikes, funny cars and more.